how did I prepare to play Alex? I watched a lot of West Wing. Like, a lot of the West Wing. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Sullivan's Travels, Bringing Up Baby. It Happened One Night. A lot of old Hollywood comedies is what I watched. And I mean, the West Wing really puts you in the world, because we're here. We're in the White House right now. Alex has a really big character arc throughout the film. So he starts as a very immature, privileged, chip on his shoulder kind of kid who, is forced to grow up after this cake incident. And it's really nice to watch him grow throughout, the 2 hours or so that we get to watch Henry and Alex be together. So he's gregarious. He's, wants to be in politics. He wants to be his mom. He wants to be his dad. He just really wants to prove to the world that he is someone. Alex and Henry start the relationship at this climate conference in the film, and Alex is kind of snubbed by Henry. So Alex has this kind of preconceived notion of him that he's a jerk and he wants nothing to do with him. Whereas Henry had just lost his father and you just didn't want to be in public. So Alex has kind of harbored this resentment toward him. So then when he has to go to the wedding, he doesn't bring his best self. He brings like this 12-year-old version of himself who wants to be in competition with Henry. The cake incident happens, and then he has a strict talking to by his father. So after that, when Alex has to fly back and do damage control, is when their relationship starts, I would say, like the good stuff. Alex realizes that Henry's not this monster that he's thought he was the whole time. Working with Nick has been excellent. We've gone through a lot. We got here a couple weeks early for rehearsals, and it's a very intimate movie. So we had to become close very fast and kind of trust each other right away. And we did. It wasn't hard. It was really just committing to the text and trusting our director, Matthew. And it's great working with him because I think we have a really good banter on and off screen, which helps our characters when we are acting together. I mean, but we get in a lot of trouble. Like, we really do. We get yelled at by our first AD, Ben, a lot, and Matthew will tell us to calm down just because as soon as you're out of a scene, you're like critiquing each other, critiquing yourself. And I think we're each other's biggest supports in the room, just because we both care so much. I know he cares, I know I care, and we just want to make the best product possible. Uma's great. She really is. She just has this presence when she walks into the room. I was definitely intimidated when I found out who was playing my mom, just because I am a huge fan, obviously, like who isn't? And I didn't know what to expect. And I was pleasantly surprised that she came in and she was so lovely and giving and, wants to connect right away. And, like whether it was with a hug, with just touching my hand, talking briefly, we really had a short period of time that we were able to kind of build that relationship for screen. So we had lunch together, and we just, she's such a professional, and she makes you feel safe. And like we there's a few scenes where we go like head to head, and she didn't treat me like that younger actor. She really treated me just like, like I'm here to work, you're here to work, like let's go. And she did. And like she would improv at me and just, when the camera was on me, for her to, get like a different reaction out of me, or like, we would try different stuff throughout. And she's just so skilled on a set. She knows her lenses, she knows her lighting, she knows her marks. Like she's such a competent actor. We were able to have a couple weeks of rehearsals, and he comes from the theater, and I come from the theater, so that's pretty, I understand it, and I love being able to try it different ways. And before you're on set and everyone's staring at you, and like, is this accurate? Is this not accurate? Are we in the given circumstances? Are we overshooting? So it was a really trusting time, because he told us in the beginning, like, you are in control of your characters and your performance, and he's like, and I am in control of directing you. So it's like, I trust you, and let's always have a conversation if we need to about, something that's not vibing with you and how you think Alex is or how you think Henry is. So that was always kind of freeing to be able to have that conversation. This is an idealistic piece of cinema, and we're seeing two characters in positions of power who have parents who are even have the actual position of power, or in Henry's case, his grandfather. And when you see them accepting these young men as who they are, it's a beautiful thing. And, it starts at the top. And if we can have people at the top of their game, at the top of the world, like literally on top of the world, accepting their family for who they are, it will just be able to trickle down throughout everyone in the world. So I think that's the most exciting part of it. This film is creating a great blueprint for families everywhere, especially because you have the first female president of the United States who has a Mexican-American father, and then you have Henry's grandfather who's the King of England. So these are the change makers in the world. These people make law, these people sign bills, and they have the power to make like lasting and real change. This film kind of transcends the coming out story. I think Matthew really focused a lot, and we had lots of conversations about this. It was not focusing on that coming out moment, not calling it that, and just more of having a conversation with those that are near and dear to you. So it's less of an event. And again, like, we just start normalizing this in society and like in the home. So it's unique in that way. And I'd also say it's unique because in a lot of LGBTQ plus stories, they're not happy endings. There's usually tragedy involved. And I think that this film kind of subverts that in a way where we think all is lost, but then by the end, we're rooting for these two guys to be together and to be kind of like the poster men for what the world can be.